Why'd you scare her away? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. First off, apologies for not posting yesterday. Today is Monday and this is gonna have like no editing before I put it up because, God, medication issues. I've ran out of my bipolar meds and this weekend went a little bit not good on the brain front. And I had something recorded, but it didn't really work. So this week is just a general life update. I've been watching Velma, and dear Lord, I don't think this show rather works on any level. If you scrape away the IP, which isn't very hard, then you are left with a sort of teen drama that I've seen a lot of people compare it to Riverdale. Admittedly, I've not watched more than a few episodes of Riverdale myself, but it's definitely melodramatic and definitely feels like uh, Pretty Little Liars, or what's the other one I liked to watch but I never finished? Sabrina. The Netflix Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I think that's right. Hi, Dory. I just got home. We're actually in my downstairs in the kitchen area because I'm waiting for the oven to preheat so I can bake some frozen pierogi. So, taking away the IP of Scooby Doo, you have a very melodramatic teen drama with a love square ish and mysteries that the plot kind of goes back and forth on whether or not it wants to focus on that. There's also Velma's hallucinations, which seem to be targeted towards like panic attacks, like a visualization of that. But it doesn't really do much except like break up whatever plot thread is going on, try to give the writers an excuse to not let Velma continue working on something because the panic attacks, hallucinations happen whenever she is what's the word? Whenever she's progressing in the mystery of her mother's disappearance, which is plot element one. Velma's mom disappeared 2 years ago. Plot element two would be there's a serial killer killing all the hot girls in Crystal Cove High. Plot number three is the love square. Plot number four is Daphne's parents. And that Daphne's parents, actually, her biological parents, because she is an East Asian girl who's been adopted by biracial lesbian parents who are the cops of the town, the main cops. Daphne's biological parent mystery brings up a good point for me because it's one of those things that got introduced as a way for Velma and Daphne to be forced together again because as Daphne has her cop parent, she low-key has access to police files because we all know police are that incompetent, and that is only halfway sarcastic. So she told Velma she would get the files for $500, or Velma helps her sell drugs, because Daphne is the candy man, which is the drug dealer, and for some reason, I know I'm the only one doing this, but when I hear Candyman, I can't help but think of that horror movie of the black man who was lynched and then he became the Candyman. And I just spent the entire episode just not able to stop thinking about that, which leads into something else, but I'm getting distracted. So, Daphne's hunt for her biological parents gets resolved so quickly. It comes up in one episode, then she has enough money to find them very abruptly. Then she can't get a private detective to do anything. Someone throws a geode into her room, and she and Norvell go off to the Crystal Cove mines, and she finds out who her parents are within and loses them within the space of 4 episodes, when we have these three main mysteries and the Velma's mother one is not getting a lot of attention. the serial killer one is being used to create these very weird narratives that belong more in a badly in Mean Girls 2 rather than in a 2023 dramedy for adults. Because there's an entire episode that focuses on how Velma only believes in one sort of femininity and demonizes everyone else. And she's supposed to give the hot girls Uggo lessons. And at the end of the story, she's like, okay, we can all own what we own. And it's dumb. It's very paint by the numbers. It feels like a parody of what right wing people would be making, saying about this is a woke cartoon, essentially. That was that entire episode. Except the right doesn't like this either because they they race swapped the three of the characters except for Fred, and then Fred becomes the butt of all the man and the man in the white jokes. So, yeah, I have feelings about that, but I'm not going to do a proper review until the season is completely over. But right now, I can say it doesn't work without Scooby Doo. It doesn't work with Scooby Doo because, I mean, besides the fact that they weren't allowed to use Scooby, I know the White Man author and Mindy Kaling have both been like, yeah, we didn't really want to use the dog, but we weren't sure. And then Warner Brothers said, you're not allowed to use the dog. I'm 100% convinced that Warner Brothers just straight up told them they're not allowed to use the dog. And so they just had to deal with that. People are also saying that this IP was just put on at the last minute because they wanted to do their own thing. I can believe it, but I'm not going to let them use that as an excuse because the moment they found out that they have to use an existing IP, they could have worked to change things up. This TV show, I don't know much about Mindy Kaling. I know she was in The Office. I know she did the Mindy Show. And I know there's some allegations of sexual harassment and assault on one of her male co-leads in a different show that she admitted to, and I heard a voice recording, but I don't remember where I found that. I've been trying to listen to reviews on left and right sides because I'm trying to find out who this audience is for. I don't think it's for anybody, honestly. I don't know. It's one of those shows that I'm not really hate watching. I'm just watching in horrified fascination while I'm trying to do homework on another screen. And it's so hateful. That's what I don't understand. Like, there's so many negative comments towards Velma, and she is... one second. So the oven takes about 20 minutes to preheat, and I've been talking apparently for much longer than I thought, so this is going to get edited a bit. So what I was saying. So Velma has been changed from white to Southeast Asian, specifically Indian. And people have been in a kerfuffle about that since last year. Who gives a fuck? I liked the character designs, except for like Fred's hair, but I'm weird about hair anyway, and it's good enough for a floppy rich white boy who used to be a golden retriever and now he's whatever this is. Gonna save that for later. But Velma is specifically Indian, and I did some beta reading with an Indian protagonist, and the author of the story that I was reading had done a lot of research into like issues that Indian women face. So I learned while reading that a lot about like the fact that Indian women are typically considered ugly, gorilla-ish, ape-ish, They have to be completely shaven because there's this whole thing about body hair. And it's weird because Mindy Kaling is an executive producer, and we know that's mostly a ceremonial title, but she's also been kind of the face of the show. And she's worked with the creator of the show, he's a random white dude who's worked with her a lot. And so I don't doubt that she's had influence on the writing, even if she's not credited as a writer herself, and the direction of the show generally. Because, I mean, she's also voice acting the main character. If she didn't like the lines that were being said, she has the pull to not have them used. And a lot of it is very disparaging towards Velma as a young woman, talking about being apish, her handsome face in a very clearly derogatory way. Because, typically you would call a teenage girl beautiful or cute or pretty. But the lesbian cops were like, your handsome face, your gorilla like arms, etc., etc. And Velma just lets them call her that. Velma's also supposed to be a bigger girl, and I honestly don't see that. Her thighs are thicker, which I like, but she's got more of an hourglass figure than anything. And when I make my proper review, I will be putting some pictures and stuff because I will be going into more detail. I'm also going to talk about how other reviewers have been talking about this. But this was supposed to be a life update, and this is just me bitching about Velma. Sure. Other life update stuff. I'm still existing. I've been trying to take care of divorce stuff, but Briar is now just not talking to me at all, so that's fun. The Philly Eagles won their game yesterday. Work was very boring. I ended up reading my homework because everyone was at the game. And then we had a bunch of drunk people. We had so many people asking if we sold alcohol. And I have Philadelphia is interesting. Generally, grocery stores don't sell alcohol. That's not something that I'm super used to because, like, you could buy beer and shit at the Walmart in Alabama and in Illinois, but apparently not in Philadelphia. I don't know how the rest of Pennsylvania is, but not here. And there's a chance that work is either going to close early when the Super Bowl happens or won't happen at all. So that's going to be fun for my paycheck. Working on several books. Someone tried to crush my book on the subway, which was... I still am dealing with anger problems because I wanted to punch him out. But other than that, I don't really have much to say. I have rent coming up, and I'm going to be in the hole after that. But once my next loan comes in, it's going to be the last one I have, and then hopefully I can move forward from there. So that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to finish making my dinner at almost 10 o'clock at night and try and get this uploaded to YouTube. Hopefully I can make some sort of thumbnail. Not that it matters. But hey, still doing this weekly. I missed yesterday, but I'm going to keep working on it. And we've made it a month. So how's everyone 2023? You still doing your resolutions? I'm trying. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go before the oven goes off again. See you later. Bye.